Right now, somewhere out there, someone just like you is sitting at exactly $0 in passive income. No online business, no investments paying them, nothing coming in while they sleep. And in 3 years from now, that same person is sitting back watching $20,000 land in their account every single month, without trading a single extra hour of their time for it. Here's the part that's going to surprise you. That person didn't get a lucky break. They didn't inherit money. They didn't get discovered or go viral overnight. They went through the exact same 6 stages that I'm about to walk you through right now, stage by stage, dollar by dollar. And if you stay with me until the end, I'm going to show you exactly what changes at every single stage of this journey, both financially and mentally. Because stage 4 is where almost 90% of people quit right before things are about to get real. So let's not skip ahead. Let's start exactly where everyone starts. Stage 1, $0 a month. This is the stage nobody likes to talk about, because there's no glamour here, no screenshots of income to post, no proof that anything is working. This is the stage where you're spending hours researching, watching videos, reading, trying to figure out which path even makes sense for you, and at the end of it all, your bank account looks exactly the same as it did yesterday. This is, without question, the most emotionally painful stage of the entire journey. Not because it's the hardest work. Stage 1 is actually often the easiest in terms of effort, but because it's the hardest mentally. You're putting in hours with zero feedback. No one is clapping. No algorithm is rewarding you. No client is paying you. It's just you. Alone. Doing the work and hoping it eventually means something. This is exactly where most people quit. And here's the truth about why. It's not because their idea was bad. It's not because passive income doesn't work for them specifically. It's because they expected results in weeks, when the reality is, it usually takes months, sometimes even a year, before you see your first real dollar come in passively. If you're sitting at this stage right now, I want you to actually hear this. This is completely normal. Every single person who is currently making passive income, every person with a portfolio of income streams, every person who looks successful from the outside, they all sat exactly where you're sitting right now. They all had zero proof it would work. The only difference between them and the people who quit is that they kept showing up during the stage where nothing seems to be happening. Stage 2, $100 to $500 a month. This is the stage that changes everything, not because of the money, but because of what the money represents. Financially, $100 or $300 a month isn't life-changing. It won't pay your rent. It won't replace your job. But psychologically, this is the single most important stage in the entire journey. Why? Because this is proof. Real, undeniable proof that this isn't a scam, that it isn't a fantasy, that something you built, a piece of content, a small store, an investment, a digital product, actually generated money without you trading your time for it in that exact moment. Most people who make it past this stage never go back to believing passive income is fake or unrealistic, because they've felt it. They've seen a notification come in or a deposit hit their account from something they built once and didn't have to keep manually working for. That feeling is addictive in the best way, and it's usually the fuel that gets people through everything that comes next. At this stage, people typically make one of two decisions. Either they take the small win and think, okay, this is nice, but it's not much, and slowly stop putting in effort, or they think, wait, if this worked at this level, what happens if I double down? The second group is who ends up at stage 6. The first group often stays stuck at stage 2 for years, sometimes never moving past it at all. Stage 3, known to $2,000 a month. Now things start to feel different. This is where passive income stops being extra spending money and starts covering real tangible expenses: a car payment, your grocery bill, your phone bill, maybe even a chunk of your rent. This is the stage where people start taking the whole thing seriously. Up until now, this was a side experiment. something you were testing to see if it would work. At this stage, it becomes a real decision point. Do you treat this like a hobby, or do you treat it like an actual business? The people who move forward from this stage are the ones who start reinvesting their profits instead of spending every dollar that comes in. They put money back into ads, into better tools, into learning, into scaling whatever is already working, instead of treating this extra income as pure bonus spending money. This is also the stage where confidence starts to shift. You stop explaining your side project apologetically to friends and family. You stop saying it's just a small thing I'm trying. You start saying I'm building something, because now you actually have the numbers to back that up. Stage 4, the plateau. And this is the one nobody talks about. Somewhere between $2,000 and $5,000 a month, something strange happens. Growth slows down. The exact strategy that got you here, the one that felt like it was working so well, suddenly stops producing the same results. You do the same amount of work, sometimes even more work, and the numbers just stall. This is, without exaggeration, the stage where the highest percentage of people give up. And it makes sense why you've already put in months, maybe years, of effort. You've tasted success. You've proven it works. And now, right when you expect it to keep climbing, it flatlines. It feels like you've hit your ceiling. It feels personal, like maybe you're not cut out for this, or maybe the market has changed, or maybe you got lucky before and now the luck ran out. But here's what almost nobody tells you about this stage: it isn't the end. It's a signal. It's your business or your income stream telling you that what worked to get you from $0 to $2, 000 is not the same thing that will take you from $2,000 to $10,000. At this stage, you usually need to do one of three things: systemize what you're already doing so it requires less of your direct time, delegate parts of the work to someone else so you can focus on growth instead of maintenance, or diversify into a second income stream so you're not relying on just one thing to carry all your income. The people who understand this and push through the plateau are the exact same people who go on to hit $10,000 a month and beyond. And the people who quit at this stage, they never find out how close they actually were. Some of the biggest passive income success stories out there involve someone who almost quit at exactly this stage right before the breakthrough came. Stage 5, $5,000 to $10,000 a month. This is where life genuinely starts to shift in a way you can feel every single day. You stop checking your bank account with that familiar knot of anxiety in your stomach. You have actual breathing room for the first time, the kind where an unexpected expense doesn't send you into panic mode. At this stage, people start making decisions they couldn't make before. Maybe you finally leave a job that was draining you, even if it doesn't pay as well, because you no longer need it to survive. Maybe you take a trip without doing mental math the entire time about whether you can afford it. Maybe you finally start saving seriously for the first time in your life, not just surviving month to month. This isn't rich yet, and it's important to be honest about that. But it is freedom, real, tangible freedom, and freedom changes the way you make every single decision that comes after this point. You start thinking longer term instead of just trying to survive the next 30 days. Stage 6, $10,000 to $20,000 a month. At this final stage, everything shifts from being about one income stream to being about a portfolio. It's rarely just one thing generating $15,000 or $20,000 a month. It's usually multiple streams working together simultaneously. Maybe one stream brings in $6,000. Another brings in $5,000. Another brings in $4,000. And it all adds up. Systems are running without you needing to be hands-on every day. Reinvestment isn't even really a decision anymore. At this point, it's automatic, built into how the whole thing operates. This is the stage where passive income stops being a side project you talk about with a little bit of hesitation and starts becoming a real financial identity. People at this stage don't say I have a side hustle. They say this is what I do. Now, here's what almost nobody tells you about this entire journey from start to finish. The stages don't feel equally long, even though I just walked through them one after another like they're evenly spaced. They're not. Stage 1 and Stage 4 will feel like they last forever. These are the stages where nothing seems to be moving, where you question everything, where doubt creeps in the loudest. Stage 2 and Stage 5, on the other hand, will feel like they fly by. These are the stages with momentum, where progress feels exciting and visible. Your job through all of this isn't to try to rush the process or find some shortcut that skips the slow stages entirely. Those shortcuts don't exist, no matter what anyone tries to sell you. Your actual job is simply to not quit during the slow stages, because the slow stages are exactly where everyone else gives up. And that's precisely why the people who push through end up with so much less competition once they reach the top. Most people never even make it past Stage 1 or Stage 4, which means simply surviving those two stages already puts you ahead of the majority. So wherever you are right now in your own journey, whether that's sitting at $0 wondering if any of this actually works, or stuck at $300 a month and not sure if it's worth continuing, or trapped in that brutal Stage 4 plateau wondering if you've hit your ceiling, I want you to hear this clearly. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are simply in a stage, and every single stage passes for the people who keep going. The version of you at $20,000 a month didn't get there by skipping stages. They got there by refusing to quit during the exact stage you might be sitting in right now. If this gave you a clearer picture of where you're headed and what to actually expect at each point along the way, make sure to hit subscribe, because I break down real, honest passive income strategies and stories just like this every single week. Drop a comment and let me know which stage you're currently in right now. I read every single one. And I'll see you in the next video.